Netflix, good old Netflix,
Uh,
they are doing a drama slash documentary. I think it's executive produced by Jada Pinkett Smith about Cleopatra. And Cleopatra in this show is black. In reality, Cleopatra was not black. She was a Greek because I won't go into the details of it, but when Alexander the Great conquered a bunch of countries, a bunch of Greek people split up all the spoils and then they started ruling those countries. And they didn't even intermix with the native population. They inbred, which is not great, of course, but the point is they stayed Greek. So this woman is Greek. So the idea that she's just black is ridiculous. But you have a lot of people saying Egyptians are black. So first of all, no, they're not. They're kind of, North African. They're not black exactly. Or they're not West African the way we conceptualize black in America. So it's really they're casting people who have a background that's West African as Egyptian, which you can say, well, that's Africa, right? It's like Africa is a fucking gigantic continent. That's like saying that Vladimir Putin should be played by an Indian man. You're what? They're both in the continent of Asia, right? So that's how logical that side is. There are a lot of people who are saying this is so historically inaccurate, and also, hello, cultural appropriation. It's not cultural appropriation if you're appropriating Egyptian stuff. Like, no, it's not, because if black people in America want to appropriate anything, apparently it's just okay because intersectionality, right? They're at the top, so they can do anything. I mean, that's really, I was going to say literally, but not literally, but that's kind of the gist of intersectionality. There's a hierarchy of people who are oppressed, and the people who are at the top of that hierarchy can do any amount of regressive, oppression or racism or discrimination. Just like Ibram X. Kendi said, the solution for past discrimination is future discrimination. So they're just doing that right now. You see people saying, well, Hollywood has whitewashed things forever. Remember when John Wayne played Genghis Khan? Remember that? So therefore now we can have a black person play, a Greek person. Fair. Well, number one, I mean, like, John Wayne is a white person and Genghis Khan was Mongolian. So I don't see what that has to do with black people, right? Africans and Egyptians. This is what's going on now. But this is the double standard, the hypocrisy that Hollywood has fomented. They're almost stuck with it. I think that maybe there are some parts of them that are thinking, oh, this is dumb, but they can't speak up because intersectionality. You're going to tell the black woman she can't do whatever she wants? You're a racist, right? Why can't a black woman play Anne Boleyn, who was just discernibly an English woman? And then people will say, well, they made Jesus white, and he's really, I don't know, Jewish, kind of like a Middle Eastern Jewish kind of guy. Okay, but what does that have to do with a black person playing a Greek?
I'm so tired of hearing about this race swapping stuff. I'm just doing what we were saying earlier. It's just like I'm just quietly not watching any of this. I refuse to watch this stuff.
I refuse to watch it too, but it is worth pointing out because there is this quite unsaid part where we're just intersectionality is king. It is absolute king. You will not find a person who is willing to tell a black woman that she is culturally appropriating another race. That's what she's doing, correct? By the very definition. They could probably, in America, make a Netflix special about the Monkey King. They could probably cast all black people in it.
Yep.
And could Asian people say, hey, you're appropriating our culture? No, we can't. We can't because they're black.
Blacks are higher.
Because they're black. Black people. And the woke Asians, like Simu Liu and those like cucks, right? I bet you anything, they would have to just bite their tongue and swallow it. Hey, they would have to say, oh, this is awesome that black people are taking one of our cherished Chinese historical things or fables and whatever and just doing their own thing with it. I think that's great.
Yeah.
I love it. Diversity. Yay. Right? That's probably what that asshole would do because he's a cuck, right?
Yeah.
That is the situation we exist in.
Actually, okay, wait. Actually, are you sure he's a cook?
No, I don't know that he watches his girlfriend have sex with people. I mean that in the, the colloquial sense.
Yeah. I know. But what's the evidence besides that he was in?
Oh no, he's on Twitter. He's espoused many leftist, progressive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I do know.
Oh, God.
I do know he's one of those. Representation, etc. So, all of that shit. Okay. I don't even blame him personally because we've talked about this before. But what is he?
Yeah, let's be real. He got the job because of this, right?
Because he's Asian. He's not
Yeah.
even a good-looking Asian man. He's a very average-looking, oh, maybe above. He's better looking than me, so he's above average-looking Asian man. But he's not a leading man-looking Asian man, right? And he
Yeah.
got it just because Hollywood is full of people who don't even know what a attractive Asian man is, and they're like, let's do Asian stuff now. And this guy, okay, this guy. So everything he's gotten is literally like affirmative action handout from Hollywood. So yeah, he has to be on board with that whole affirmative action program in Hollywood because he owes his entire success. Well, not entire. I wouldn't say. I'm sure he's worked hard, but he owes a lot of his success to that system. Otherwise, a much better looking Asian man would have gotten his jobs, right?
We should totally push a black rendition of Monkey King for Netflix. Yeah, I want to just so I could see their reactions.
We should, but then you know what would happen is they probably complain it's racist because like you're putting black people as monkeys, right? So there's no winning, right? But they want to appropriate your culture. It's like, well, my culture has monkeys in it. Do you still want to appropriate it? You gotta play a monkey. There's racial connotations to that. You understand that, right? They will that one role they would let like an Asian person play.
Yeah.
This is just another example of what media is like in the United States. It's so ass backwards. People are afraid to say the obvious. And the worst part about it is it's not good and it's uncompetitive. So just like what I've talked about before with, let's say, music, how K-pop has been outcompeting American acts recently because they acknowledge certain things like attractive people are appealing and that people like looking at attractive people, right? And then they lean into that. So then K-pop only puts forth attractive humans, whereas American media seems to want to give us Lizzo nonstop, right? So American media, even though they keep telling us like, you love this, right? You love this. It's diverse. Body positivity. You're not a good human being if you don't love this picture of Lizzo, if you don't listen to her, if you don't think she's the best thing ever. And then all the people say, yeah, absolutely. I love Lizzo. You're absolutely right. This is more inclusive. It's the best. But when the cameras are off in their own quiet time, what do? They gravitate towards the attractive human beings. And where are they? In K-pop. K-pop is now more competitive. I don't know if you know that Coachella is happening right now. First time ever is headlined by a K-pop band.
Oh, wow.
Blackpink. Why? Are they just like handing out a diversity award to Blackpink? No, you know why? It's because they're super fucking popular all around this planet. And part of it is they're just accepting the formula that people like good, catchy music sung by very attractive women. And they just do that over and over and over again. And it's not rocket science, but they do it. And they're beating us because they're being more competitive. Because for whatever reason, in this country, we want to make people like Lizzo. And people can go ahead when they're trying to be politically correct. They can go ahead and say, yeah, I love Lizzo. Yay. But what do they consume? That tells you what they really think. They watch the videos of the hot women, right? The K-pop women. They're not watching the Lizzo videos. Who the fuck would want to watch that? I want to throw up when I see her, right? They're abdicating being competitive. That same thing is happening in Hollywood too. So in a way, we can rail against it, but at the same time, it's a problem that solves itself. They want to kneecap their own industries, then do it.